Hi everyone, it's Elise and welcome to my channel, Elise Between the Ears. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if you're a return visitor, welcome back. So today, I was tagged to do a Toy Story tag from Alicia from CinderAlilovesdisney, and it is a Toy Story tag. That is why I am wearing my new Woody ears that I just made. Anyway, so without any further ado, let's get into this tag. So this is going to be a longer tag. It's 20 questions, and I will get through it as quickly as I can. So I hope you enjoy. Question 1. How old were you when you saw a Toy Story film? Let's see, I was in my 20s, so I am not exactly sure how old I was. It was the first Toy Story. I'll have to like look up the date and everything, but it was definitely in my 20s. That kind of shows you how old I was, or I am now. Number 2. If you could be any toy from your childhood, what would you be? You can't pick Disney. Okay, so that would probably be Barbie. I just love playing with Barbies. When I was younger, I had all the townhouses and mansions and all of that. I love dressing them up and making up these stories with them. So that would definitely be what I would pick. I'd be Barbie. I mean, who wouldn't? She's tall, thin, beautiful, blonde hair. Who wouldn't be Barbie? Number 3. Oh, sorry that I keep looking down. I have my laptop sitting on my lap so I can read the questions. So if I keep looking down, that's why. Anyway, here we go. Number 3. What is your favorite Toy Story film? Okay, that would be a Toy Story number 2. And that's because in Toy Story 1, you get the beginnings of it. And I don't really like how there's that competition or whatever between Woody and Buzz. I like 2 because they're already friends. They do things, everybody's helping each other. They're trying to rescue Woody. And then I love the story, the backstory of Woody and Jessie and Bullseye and all of them, the Pete, Stinky Pete. And so I love the end where they talk about, you know, what are you going to do when Andy's done playing with you, and he says, well, I'll have my friend with me. And it's just a sweet story of friendship and everything, and that's why I like 2 a little. Well, I like it a lot better than 1, but that's my favorite is Toy Story 2. Number 4. What is your favorite Toy Story ride? Okay, so I've only been on the Toy Story Mania both in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So it's hard to say. I haven't been to Toy Story Land at Disney World, but I've heard a lot and I've seen a lot of video of Slinky Dog, and I love roller coasters. So even though I haven't actually ridden it yet, I'm going to say Slinky Dog because, like I said, I love roller coasters. Number 5. If you could create a character from your childhood's toys, who would they be? Let me read that again. If you could create a character from your childhood toys, who would it be? Okay, that's easy. I used to have a teddy bear that my grandmother crocheted for me, and it was a set that she made for me and my 2 sisters of like from Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. There was the Papa Bear, the Mama Bear, and the Baby Bear, and I had the Papa Bear, and I loved that bear. I had it for the longest time until I lost him when my dad took us camping up in Yellowstone, and he got left at a motel that we stayed at. And I loved that bear. He had this cute little tie with a little white collar. Oh, he was so cute. So that's what who I would create, is Papa Bear. Actually, I mean, all three bears would be really cute, but I would mainly do the Papa Bear. I think his name was Teddy. Number 6. Which character would you say you are most like? I'd like to say Jessie, because she's fun and she's got a lot of gumption, and she just, you know, knows what she wants and goes after it, and, you know, but she has that sweet, sensitive side. So I think I'm going to say Jessie. I think I'm like Jessie, but I could be real quiet at times, but then I could be real, like, crazy at times. Y'all mainly see my quiet side, but my family, they see my crazy side. So I'll say Jessie. Number 7. What is your favorite Toy Story song? I think I'm just gonna go with the main song, You've Got a Friend in Me. That's really the only one that I can think of. Jessie's song's nice too. I don't know the titles of the songs, but the one when it does Jessie's little backstory and too, but it's kind of sad and melancholy. So I don't really. I mean, it's nice, but You've Got a Friend in Me is, I think, more peppy and happy. So I think I've got to say that one, You've Got a Friend in Me. Okay, number 8. Which character would you like to see more of? I think Bullseye. I think Bullseye is so cute and happy and everything. So I think it'd be fun to see Bullseye more in the, you know, with Woody and everything. So Bullseye. Number 9. Did you ever own any Toy Story merchandise as a child? No. Like I said, I saw it in my 20s, so I never had any as a child, and I just never really got any merchandise when it came out. I mean, there was just really nothing out there that I was like, oh, I've got to have this. So, no, sorry. Okay, number 10. Who is your favorite Toy Story villain? I think it's got to be Stinky Pete from 2, because at first he's so nice and he's sweet and he's so helpful, but then at the end you really see his true colors, and that's kind of how a lot of people are. You know, they seem like villains. They play up their good side, they make you trust them, and then bam, they turn on you and they're just evil. And that's kind of how Stinky Pete is in Toy Story 2. He, you know, gets Woody to trust him, he's friends and all this, and then when he doesn't do what he wants him to do, bam, he's the villain. So I've got to say Stinky Pete. He's pretty evil when he wants to be. Number 11. What is your favorite line from a movie? Okay, it goes back to Toy Story 2. I'm telling you, that's my favorite. It's at the very end, like I was saying earlier, when they're kind of watching all the toys kind of do their thing, and Buzz is talking to Woody, and he says something about, you know, are you going to be okay? Oh, I can't remember it, but are you going to be okay when Woody or Andy gets older or something like that, you know? And he's like, well, I'll enjoy it as long as it lasts. And he says something about, at least I'll have my best friend with me, or we'll be together. I can't remember it. I remember the feeling but I can't remember the exact line. But if you've seen Toy Story 2, you know which one I'm talking about. I'll try and put the actual wording down here or in a slide, or I'll put in a slide, but yeah, that's my favorite part, or my favorite line. Number 12, Woody or Buzz? I think Woody. He's just so sweet and caring. He cares about all the toys, and he wants to make sure he cares about Andy. He's just there to make others happy, and that's what I like to do. I try to be there for others and make them happy and take care of them. Not that Buzz is bad, but Woody. Okay, number 13. Did you used to watch Buzz Lightyear Star Command? That is a no. I didn't even realize that there was a Buzz Lightyear Star Command. It was probably on the Disney Channel, and so I didn't really watch the Disney Channel after Toy Story came out. Again, adult, and I don't have kids, so yeah, no, sorry. Number 14, favorite character outside of Woody or Buzz? Okay, so I talked about how I like Jessie, so Jessie and Bullseye are, I like them, but I think I really like Rex, and he just has such a fun, crazy character with his, it's like, and he's trying to be all big, and he's always trying to be so like strong, but he's, you know, deep down he's kind of like scared, and it's funny because it's the opposite of what a dinosaur is supposed to be. He tries to be like that, but he's not. He's more like scared, and he's always trying to just be more than he is, and I just love his little character. It's so cute. 15, my favorite scene. Well, I keep talking about that last scene in Toy Story 2, which I love, but other than that scene, I love the scene in Toy Story 3 where Buzz is gotten switched onto his Spanish mode, and so he's all like this Spanish romantic Buzz, and he grabs Jessie and they kind of do the tango. I just think that's hilarious. So that's got to be my I guess next favorite scene is when Buzz and Jessie are doing the tango in Toy Story 3. Number 16. Were you like Sid or Andy as a child? I was more like Andy. I think at times I had a little bit of Sid that came out in me, but all in all, I was more like Andy, just regular kid playing with his toys. Number 17. If you were a toy and needed to get somewhere quickly, do you choose RC Racer or Bullseye? Well, if you want to get there quickly, of course RC Racer, because you're going to get there quickly. But I don't know, I like the idea of jumping on Bullseye and racing to get to it like a hero. So I'm going to say Bullseye, because I just love Bullseye. He's just so cute. And he's got some speed on him, man. He got up to a plane in Toy Story 2, so I'm going to say Bullseye. Number 18. Which film made you the most emotional? Oh, well, that's a given. That's Toy Story 3. The scene where they're all going, you know, down into the furnace and they're all holding hands. But what really got to me was the fact that Andy was grown and going off to college, and he kind of passes the toys on to, I mean, you can tell there's that child in him. See, I'm already getting emotional. There's the child in him that still loves Woody and all of his toys, but he knows that he needs to grow up, and so he passes the toys on to Bonnie, And when he says goodbye, see, I'm already getting emotional. Anyway, that scene, the last scene in Toy Story 3. Okay, number 19, Space Ranger spin at Disney World or Walt Disney World, or Buzz Lightyear laser blast at Disneyland. Okay, so they're both basically the same, if I'm thinking right. I think they're called different things, but they're basically the same ride. And I think it's Disneyland where you can actually take it out of the laser blaster, out of the holster, and shoot the different marks, the bullseyes. So I have to say the one at Disneyland, because I like the fact that you could take it out of the holster and move it around better, instead of just having it placed in one spot and trying to move it to the different things. It's easier to shoot. So I'm going to say Disney. The Buzz Lightyear laser blast at Disneyland. And now the last question. Thoughts on Toy Story 4, and should there be a 5? Definitely no 5. I think the way they ended it in 3 was pretty good. I don't think they really needed a 4, but I appreciated what they did with Toy Story 4, how they kind of showed, because in Toy Story 3, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to really spoil anything, but Bo Peep isn't in Toy Story 3, and you don't really know what happened to her. You just assume that as, people get older, the toys have gotten like given away or lost or whatever. So you don't really know what happens to Bo Peep, and they don't really focus on it at all in Toy Story 3, but in Toy Story 4, and again, I don't want to really give any spoilers out in case you haven't seen it. It took me forever to be able to see it, but they kind of tell what happens to Bo, like where that transition is, like from being with all the toys, with Woody and Buzz and all of them, to where she is in the movie. And so they kind of build that up good, and kind of build a little bit more on the relationship between Buzz and the relationship between Woody and Bo Peep, because they always kind of flirt with each other throughout the storylines, through 1 and 2. So they kind of just build on that, and it's a good transition. And since 4 is supposed to be the last one, it has a really nice conclusion to the story. Is it my favorite way of it ending? Maybe not, but it was a satisfying ending to the story and to the whole storyline of the toys, and it makes sense, and I think that's why I did like it. Is the story of like toys and how they are perceived through a child's eyes. It makes the whole thing makes sense, and you kind of get that from the beginning of the story to the end of the story, and why the end of the story happens the way it does. So if you haven't seen it, like I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but just with that in mind, you might understand the ending of the story a little bit more. Just that it's progression of life and a toy's life. So I think it makes sense, and it's satisfying. Okay, so that's it. That's the whole tag. Thank you, Alicia, for tagging me. This has been a really fun tag to do. That's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe here down below and give this a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I hope you did. And by giving it a big thumbs up, it really does help, so please do that. And comment. I'd love to hear your feelings about Toy Story, and if you liked number 4 or not, and what your favorite was. So comment below, and until next time, I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will see you later. Bye.